Hello, Tim here. We are going to rank every power-up in Call of Duty Treyarch Zombies. It's another ranking video because people like them, I like making them, and I got no other ideas. There are many power-ups in the game, however, we are only going to look at the 11 main ones, and that's kind of a loose definition, but I'll give you an example. The Widow's Wine Grenades, we're not going to be counting those. Like the Groff modules from Garage Krovi, we're not going to be counting those. The Seeds from Zetsubo, not a chance. We're going over the bonus power-ups, like the Insta-kills and the double points and the bigger ones. We're not talking about like those obscure ones that are technically drops, but ugh. Listen guys, I was contemplating on making a ranking video for all the Gobblegum in BO3, but that would take a tremendous amount of time because there are 44 Mega Gobblegum and 19 Classic Gobblegum. So if we get 1,000 likes on this video, and I know that's crazy to ask for, but if we get that many, I will put forth all of that time and effort to make that video because I enjoy it, but it takes hours. Like literally, it would probably take 10 hours. But anyways, number 11. This should not even be regarded as a power-up, but it is, and that is the Carpenter. Now this gives you 200 points and rebuilds all the barriers on the map, which in World at War was sort of beneficial. The maps were much smaller and the zombies were much slower, so rebuilding barriers actually was beneficial. But here we are in BO3 where the zombies shred through the barriers in a 10-second span. Rebuilding the barriers is not only futile, but it actually slows the game down because the zombies have to get out of the barriers. So if you're training and you just want the game to speed up, you don't want to have these barriers constantly rebuilt so they have to tear through them. Overall, pretty worthless. Sorry to shit on your life there, Carpenter, but you serve no legitimate purpose anymore. Number 10, Blood Money, the power-up that gives you a few extra 100 points, sometimes thousands, and it's mainly known for being on Origins, but it is on a few other BO3 maps. For example, on Shadows of Evil, you can get them by opening up a pod. It gives you more points than the Carpenter and doesn't slow down the game. Number 9, the Nuke, the thing that blows up every zombie on the map. It's pretty awesome, and I like the effect of it, and on high rounds, it can be pretty relieving. There is no worse feeling than when you're on an early round trying to get points, you knife a zombie, and a nuke shows up, you accidentally get it, and you're like, fuck, like really? Sure, I got 400 points, but I could have gotten a few thousand if those zombies were still alive, so it's really annoying. Sometimes relieving, most of the time annoying. A nuke, although the concept is pretty cool, it's one of the worst ones. Number 8, Zombie Blood, the power-up that doesn't give you any points, but does disguise you from the zombies for 30 full seconds, which is the most relieving thing ever, especially on Origins. With all the panzers and robots and mud, it's really nice to get a few seconds to breathe. Nothing extraordinary, but certainly helpful. Number 7, Double Points. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. You get double points. This power-up is the best on earlier rounds, but on later rounds, it is completely and utterly useless because you have so many thousand points that it doesn't matter. But for setting up, it is great. You know what I mean? When you're on earlier rounds, you're like, oh, and then when you're on higher rounds, you're like, oh, well, not needed. But it gives you more points. Number 6, the Bonfire Sale, which is exclusive to 5. Essentially, what happens is you kill the Pentagon Thief before he even touches you and you get the Bonfire Sale, which allows you to pack-a-punch your weapon for 1,000 points, which is, of course, much cheaper. There's nothing wrong with this one, but if you're at the point where you want a pack-a-punched weapon, you likely have enough points anyways. I mean, sure, if you're on an earlier round and you have a shitty gun and you want to upgrade it for 1,000 points, it is pretty good. But otherwise, it is a little bit unnecessary. Number 5, the Death Machine. Now, there are 2 variations of it. The Black Ops 1 version is pretty disgustingly bad. It kills zombies up about until around 30. On Black Ops 3, however, you will be killing zombies with this thing efficiently until probably you crash your game. It has no limit. But if we're talking about BO3, just look, man. I am absolutely shredding through these zombies without any effort whatsoever. It's very fun to use, and it's also very effective, and it comes in at number 5. Number 4, Insta-kill. You touch a zombie in any way, shape, or form, whether it be a bullet or a knife, it immediately dies. There isn't a scenario where this is not helpful, but on earlier rounds, you might want to avoid it just to get more points. This could be higher, but I feel as though if you have a wonder weapon that serves infinite damage, an insta-kill really isn't all that helpful, but it's never bad. But again, in every scenario, whether you have a wonder weapon or not, it's better to have it than to not. It's probably the most consistent power-up, and so it comes in at number 4. Number 3, Fire Sale, the power-up that could technically get you the wonder weapon on the map for only 10 points. So of course, when you spin the box, it's typically 950 points, but you know, when the fire sale is active, it's only 10 points. So instead of spending 5 grand on a gun, you could be only spending 50 points. So maybe on a map where there isn't a wonder weapon in the box, it's not amazing, but if the wonder weapon is in the box, you are going to have a fun game if you get a fire sale or 2. It's the best way to set up fast and easily, and it comes in at number 3. Number 2, the Perk Bottle. You grab this and you get a random perk on the map if you don't already have it. So for instance, on Buried, when you kill the witches, you can get a Perk Bottle Bottle, and let's say you're running like the original 4 perks, you could get like Vulture Raid as a bonus. The reason why this comes in at number 2 is because getting a perk from a drop is much better than getting 30 seconds of some other ability, because it can last the whole game. So yeah, it's a free perk. I'd rather get something like Double Tap than a temporary insta-kill, you know what I mean? So in theory, I think it's just number 2. And now we're gonna head into the number 1 spot. The best power-up in Zombies history, hands down, it has got to be the max ammo. It's helpful on any round, especially on the higher rounds when you're running low on ammo. After all, the way you kill the zombies is with ammunition, and max ammo has always got you covered with that. If you don't think it's number 1, just try to picture zombies without max ammo. You would have to be constantly trading out your weapons. So yeah, that is every power-up in Zombies ranked. Not every one, but the main ones, you know what I mean? So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, make sure to leave a like. Again, 1,000 likes and I will do the gobblegums. Subscribe for not only Call of Duty content, not only Zombies content, but some other content that I will be releasing soon. And I hope you have a terrific day.